Life can have many opportunities for big changes. Growing up in the Philippines, I didn't imagine I would live in Vancouver. I first visited Vancouver in 1986. I was 47 years old. Expo was on at that time, and I remember watching the fireworks at Science World from the Cambie Street Bridge. On this trip, I remember thinking to myself, after I retire, I could live in Vancouver one day. I returned home where I continued to work at the University of the Philippines as a counselor and later as the Dean of Students. I had never been married, but at a 25th high school reunion, I met an old classmate. He was also a bachelor. He later joined his mother and sister in Vancouver in 1989. We kept in touch and wrote letters to each other for about a year. Eventually, he proposed and asked me to join him. I said yes, and we had our wedding in the Philippines. I was a 54-year-old bride. I retired from my position at the university and moved to Vancouver in 1994 to start a new life. At first, I had challenges finding work in my field because my credentials weren't recognized. Up to now, this is a problem that many new immigrants face. I started with volunteer work, which I still do. I took a course on multicultural counseling, did networking, and through this, found a job which utilized my professional experiences. My first job in my field was as a researcher for a study on Filipino caregivers, published by the Philippine Women's Center to advocate for caregiver rights. I later worked with Richmond Multicultural Society, the Immigrant Services Society, and the Filipino-Canadian Support Services Society, now the Multicultural Helping House Society, as a counselor for new immigrants. After 10 years, in 2004, I was ready to retire, this being the second time in my life to retire from work. Was moving to Vancouver during the latter part of my life a good decision? Definitely. Here, I can do as I please without so much social pressure. There is a lot of freedom within the law and lots of exposure to different cultures. In my interaction with people, I developed a better understanding of the truism that despite individual and cultural differences, there are commonalities among us as fellow human beings.